Hi, I'm Brian, and welcome to this special edition from the Institute of Pop. This is the birthday wax edition, where we look at the wax, the vinyl that I received as part of my birthday, which was a major milestone. It was the big 6-0, and I had a few people say, "What did you do to celebrate your birthday?" And I went, "Nothing. I listened to music." They're saying, "Oh, that's so sad," like they were talking to a dog or a cat in that patronizing manner. And I put that away and let's talk about some music. That's the important thing to do. So I got a plethora of records from my good friend, the Sunburnt Sailor, and King B even went interstate to pick up a record for me. So let's just check it out and see what we've got, hey? Beautiful. So let's kick off this tasty little sucker with a bit of Yellowcake Uranium with the Steve Miller Band and Brave New World. And there we are in the after image, the afterlife surrounded by uranium. Oh my God. Hopefully there's more cheer on the gatefold and we open it up and it's not a mushroom cloud, but it's certainly three guys who look a little bit concerned. Wow, look at that artwork. My God, it's worth every cent of the gatefold. And on the back cover, no matter where we look, it's Yellowcake Uranium. There it is. But seriously, this is like 1969. It's a Scranton pressing. It's a OG USA, and it plays beautifully. I really dig it. It's seen better days, of course, but who hasn't? And it's got some great songs on here. We've got Brave New World, Celebration Song. Is that right? Yeah, not Celebration Day. We've got Love Because You Need It. We've got Hey baby, can you hear your daddy's heartbeat? Calculator brings the Hendrix rhythm thing going, and then we've also got My Dark Hour, and there's it's not listed on here, but there's a guy who played on it called Paul Ramon, and apparently played bass, vocals. Some say even drummed, and of course, this is Paul McCartney, and he also sung on Celebration Song as well. So, but here's one thing that really does bug me, and it says down here in somewhere, I don't know if you can see it, for C label for correct playing order. Well, why do I have to see the label? Couldn't you have just put it there, or is this some sort of test for somebody who's supported the Steve Miller Band for 30 years and they take you into this room and it's very quiet and you just listen to the entire album, and at the end of it they say, right, to test your memories now, take out your pads and pens, boys and girls, because we're going to test you and see if you can put every song back into the order it was played. And if you can, you're okay. And if you're not, time to see a specialist. Anybody know other albums that have done this? I mean, my favorite Van Halen album does it as well. I mean, I can't remember Big Bad Bill is Sweet William Now coming in the middle of the order, and Happy Trails was down there. It's all over the place. These things are sent to test us. Something which is not sent to test us, which again from the Sunbird Sailor, is Benefit by Jethro Tull. And I've just posted my deep dive review on this album, and it's pretty cool. I mean, there it is on the Reprise label. It's a cool album. This is an OG Australian pressing from 1970, and there were three different types, I think. How about that? But the big question is, have they stood up after stand up and they're making their way in a perfect sort of rhythm and a logical flow to get to Aqualung? Or is this just an album where they've stayed pat just for a little while? I think it's a fantastic album. Have a look at the review if you like it, because I do wax lyrical about the album on my review. Another album, surprisingly, I wax lyrical about is the Sunshine Company from 1970, I believe. It can't be. It must be. I think it's 1967, and this is a 1970 Australian press. It's on Imperial Records, which I'm not very familiar with. It plays and sounds great. And did I show the back cover? And I've done a deep dive video on that, and I really recommend that to you because I have a bit of fun with it and I really enjoy it, particularly telling the saga of Joe Saraceno, the producer. Anyway, I showed the label, and good songs on here. Definitely, the killer is 4 in the Morning. It's a garage pop sunshine pop classic. They do a great cover version of George Harrison's "I Need You," and then there's "Up, Up and Away," which unfortunately I go into the whole story on the video that is already posted. So, okay, if you want a bit of sunshine pop, get that sort of stuff into you. Okay, and another big one that came for me is one I haven't had in my collection for ages, and it is the Temptations' Psychedelic Shack. That's where it's at. Psychedelic Shack. That's where it's at. And this, to me, was the apogee, the absolute peak of their psychedelic sounds. And this is on the, where's my notes? apologise for this. And this is came out in 1970, but this is a 2017 repress on the Gaudy label, and it's really cool, and it plays so well as well. Great lyrics too. People, let me tell you about a place I know. To get in, it don't cost much dough, where you can really do your thing. It's got a neon sign outside that says, come in and take a look at your mind. You'd be surprised at what you might find. Whoa, oh, I'm back, and I've got the album back as well. There it is. First side is all killer, no filler, Psychedelic Shack, which I was just singing. That's the first song. And then You Make Your Own Heaven and Hell right here on Earth. Another cool. Boom, chicka, boom, chicka, boom, 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 chicka, boom, chicka, boom, chicka, boom. And then we start to move into Psychedelic Terry with Hum Along and Dance. And then finally, we come up with their masterwork, as far as I'm concerned, Take a Stroll Through Your Mind. This is their magnum opus. This is their high point in terms of soulful psychedelia. I even rated it above Papa Was a Rolling Stone, that high. I love when the singer says, calling on the group. I'll do it again. Calling on the group to give me a little who. Calling on the group to give me a little. And then they all come and go, who, yeah, who. Oh, God, it's amazing. Great memories of this album. I first heard it when I was up in Katoomba, which is in the Blue Mountains of New South Wales. And it was a freezing cold night, and they just had a 1-bar heater to keep 4 of us warm. Felt like being on Survivor. First world problems, of course. But this album and this song particularly got to me. 3 of the 4 songs on here are still on the second side are pretty cool. But, War. What is it good for? The Temptations doing? I don't know. Don't know about that one. Okay, let's go to a couple of, what am I talking about? A couple of 12 inches. And the first one is, there we go. That works better for me. Groove Armada and Purple Haze. And immediately I'm thinking, Groove Armada doing Purple Haze. I love Groove Armada. I think this is a killer album. But them doing Purple Haze, there it is. It's on the cover. Purple Haze. It's on that one as well. And I reckon if you look hard enough, it's even going to be on the label. There it is again. Fantastic. And I'm thinking, what's he going to do? Purple Haze, all in my brain. The things, they don't seem the same. Acting funny, and don't know why. Excuse me, while I kissed it. But they do it in a much more groovier fashion. Anyway, it was only about 40 seconds I was into the song, and I went, there's not going to be any Purple Haze by Jimi Hendrix here. So I did a bit of research on the old internet, and every time I put in Purple Haze, it was just Jimi Hendrix. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It's a funky, full-on rock and roll funk stomper, and the other songs are great as well. Ooh Baby and Love Box, yeah. Now, interestingly enough, I thought the vocals, I think it was on Purple Haze, might have been Jack White. And then I did do the research and looked up, and it was a guy called Wallace Red Rat Wilson. You try and say that fast 5 times. Wallace Red Rat Wilson. And Nappy Roots on rap. And I thought Wallace Red Rat Wilson, that's got to be a pseudonym. But no, it's a real name. So all of my research, all of my noir sort of efforts going out late at night on the internet to try and track this information down with my trench coat on and, sucking on a cigar or something like that, all of it went to nothing. What can you do? Anyway, the other tracks, as I said, Kill, also absolutely brilliant. And then the last thing I got from the Sunburnt Sailor was this little dude, and it's the Chemical Brothers doing It Began in Africa. Whew. Has a doorbell sound early, which is very similar to the way that Psychedelic Shack starts, because you've got the knock on the door, like Just For You by The Church starts. Oh, wait there, etc. Always, it's cliche, but it's not bad. But I was enjoying the song with the acoustic percussion and the serious panning of sounds from side to side. And when the bass came in, I was completely sold. You do have to get used to this guy going, it began in Africa, over and over again. In fact, there's one moment in the song where I think basically everything cuts out and it goes, In fact, I should be doing it with the vinyl. There we go. It began in Africa. There might have been a sense that the Chemical Brothers didn't think we got the message about that it began in Africa. But I don't know. What can I say? I mean, this all occurred in time of 2001. I wasn't in the dance clubs that. It might have been absolutely brilliant. It might have been the moment. It might have been like being in the 70s and doing the car wash. The car. You're just waiting for them to say car wash, yeah. I'm never going to be able to disassociate this song from the car wash. I mean, it's a bit of a psychedelic car wash going on there. It's a head wash, that's for sure. Anyway, that's pretty cool. I dig the Chemical Brothers. It's the only album that I have by them, but it's pretty cool. I just get so obsessed with Underworld and wearing an Underworld t-shirt right now, to tell you the truth. Anyway, once again, both sides of car are fantastic. It's an excellent little 12 string, an excellent big 12 string, 12 inch. 12. And there we go. Now, the story about the King Bee. Thank you, Sunbow Sailor. The story about the King Bee going to Tasmania. Now, if you don't know Tasmania, that's like Australia's Sicily. He knew I wanted this record. I'm going to show it because I hate when people just go talk for 55 minutes before they actually show the album. I don't hate it. I don't really hate anything, but I'm just sitting there going, I'm not even listening to you. I just want to see what the album is. Please show me the album. I can't take it anymore. East West by the Butterfield Blues Band, one of the greatest albums, certainly from the 60s, that I've ever heard, and it's tremendous. And this is my first OBI strip I've ever had, and I'm leaving it in the plastic because I know in a vinyl tag one time they're going to ask you to show an OBI, and you guys will all know which one I'm going to show. Great band. There they are on the back. Can't see them all, but there's Mike Bloomfield over there. And this, I've got to ask the question, is this album the one that features his greatest ever playing? I'd love to hear your suggestions. I mean, I know he was throwing his guitar all over Highway 61 by Dylan. And I remember listening to Desolation Row once, and I was going, that guitar's not that good. Mike, what's going on here? You're not quite with us. And then, I realized that it wasn't him playing, it was Charlie McCoy playing guitar. Maybe they should have stuck with old Mike. Anyway, what is your favorite Mike Bloomfield album that shows off his guitar? Because here it's me. Get Out of My Life Woman. I should have shown the wax. Get Out of My Life Woman is one of my favorites. It's on Elektra. Mary, 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 where are you going to? Dun, 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 do. Ha, ha, do. Ha, ha. I mean, Paul Butterfield's trying to be, that was a harmonica, by the way. And I'm not a great fan of the harmonica. But I think Paul Butterfield here is taking it into rarefied air and trying to do the whole Hendrix harmonica sort of feeling, or that sort of ambience, that vibe. He's going for the Jimi Hendrix playing. He's trying to do for the harmonica what Jimi Hendrix did for the guitar. And why wouldn't he? Anyway, so great album. Love him. Great birthday treats. And, that's a good enough reason to spend your birthday just listening to the vinyl. So good. Anyway, so that's it. That's my treats this year. But I do have one question left for you, which I expect 100% responses. And the question is this: if it was down to you, what album should you have bought me for my 60th birthday? If you've watched my channel before, I'd be interested to see what album you think I need to have in my collection. Also, other questions that we could talk about is, if you've already turned 60, what albums did you get for your 60th birthday? This could be a tag, a thread. And if you're not 60, what album would you like for your 60th birthday? And if who knows, if these prices of postage get down anytime in the next 20 years or something, we might be able to get something overseas. Some VLCT. No? VCLT. The Love Train. Should be the car wash. Anyway, hope you're doing really well. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you like this video, why not check out one of the others? There's some good ones in there and some which might catch your attention. But, this has given me a lot of pleasure listening to these albums. And remember, if music of any size, shape, sound, or psychedelic shack gives you pleasure, then who am I to argue with your opinion? Look forward to seeing you next time. Why not check out one of Jethro Tull or Happy's the Sunshine Company? But until then, hope you're doing really well, staying cool, and bye now.